have to make a decision. Yeah. All right, our final teller is Mira Collins. She's a senior here as well. She's been an active writer for 6 years. Although she usually focuses on poetry, she occasionally writes prose. In her spare time, she loves picnicking with friends and hanging out with her 3 cats. She plans on attending Portland State University after she's out of school here. Please welcome Mira.
Do any of you remember 2010? 2010 was the year that brought us iPads, Angry Birds, and historical and the Oprah Show. But other than that, I feel as though many people don't see 2010 as being very memorable. However, I can't say the same, because 2010 was the year I was almost kidnapped. Maybe. In 2010, my grandma and her brother managed to save up enough money to surprise the family with a New Year's cruise on the Caribbean Sea. This cruise was set to take us to Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Jamaica. Now, being brought in our very American-focused education system, the place I knew hardly anything about was Jamaica. So in turn, that became the destination I was most excited about. However, the magic of taking a cruise quickly lost its mystique. Excuse me. Because it took over 6 hours for us to get to the ship itself, and then 3 hours to board it. Now, in 2010, I was 10 years old. As I'm sure you know, 10-year-olds aren't the best at being patient, and I was no exception. I knew this was going to happen. I had many sweet life adventures, such as listening to my stepmom for hours on end after she got food poisoning, dancing with the waiter at dinner, and swimming in a much too small swimming pool where my ankles were always touching with strangers and everybody under the age of 12 whined about me not being a slide. Our first stop was Jamaica. We got on a bus with the rest of the tourists and sat down, and the bus driver took the time to learn everyone's name. I remember looking out the window in awe. I had never left America or even the Pacific Northwest before seeing the saturated colors of Jamaica. I remember seeing a billboard advertising bananas and poking my dad's shoulder. Look, Dad, we have billboards in America too! Our first stop was a restaurant called Margaritaville. Now, I didn't notice this at the time, but looking back, I realized now that we were in a very gentrified area of Jamaica. Margaritaville was this big restaurant with this yellow roof, and there was a big trampoline in the back on the water. And as I was waiting for my mango juice, people were addressing me as Miss and Ma'am, and it felt really strange. It felt like there was this weird power difference despite the fact that I was the guest. And not only at Margaritaville, but in this small farmer's market where this older woman helped me try on different hats, Bob Marley was laced into every conversation. It was like the only tether to each other's cultures, the one thing we could both relate to. I took it in stride. After our first 2 stops, we went to the small shopping district. My grandma and my grandpa decided they wanted to shop elsewhere for some reason, so we split up and I was left with my dad and stepmom. We walked down the strip for a bit, peering in the shop windows and waving at people who greeted us as we passed by. Then this man came up to us with a big smile. He said, "Hey, will you guys come check out my shop?" We said, "Sure," and we kept walking now with our impromptu tour guide. We walked for a while, and this man was incredibly talkative and very eager to answer any questions we had about the area. We took full advantage of the opportunity because we'd only gotten the perspective that the tour had given us. Eventually, we came to this small bridge. Now, I don't know about you, but as a kid, I was inexplicably excited about crossing bridges. So like I always said, I ran to the edge and peered over. But there was no water. It wasn't empty, though. Garbage filled the canal and spilled over the sides. My dad and I exchanged a glance. Maybe this wasn't part of the tour because we weren't supposed to be here. And just like that, the man stopped. He turned around to us and said, "Hey, how would I take you," meaning, "to the little girl shop, and you two, my parents, can go to the adult shop?" Like any protective parent, my dad said no and that he was confused. Where was his shop? What was the little girl shop? The man was avoidant but persistent. He leaned down to my level and told me that if I went with him, I could try on pretty dresses and play with toys. My dad kept declining despite the fact that the man was now tugging on my arm and attempting to pull me away. That's when my dad got the call. My grandma called, and she said that she had bought us pizza and wanted us to get back before it got cold. After some resistance, the man led us back to the beginning of the strip to the first shop. This was his shop, the first shop on the strip. He told us to go inside and that we needed to buy something before we left. With equal parts confusion and fear, my stepmom hesitantly picked out a swimsuit with a Jamaican flag on it, bought it, and then we went back to the rest of the group. We boarded the bus, went back to the cruise ship, and the situation left my mind as quickly as it had happened, despite the fact that I was disappointed that I didn't get any pizza. a long time, this story was my shock value story. It was my cruise ship souvenir that I pulled out at parties and in lulls and conversations. I was almost kidnapped. Can you believe this happened to me? It is a privilege in itself that I can say that. This story is shocking, but that's not all it is. It's a story about cultural barriers. It's a story about how hard it is to defend your boundaries and how scary it is to ask questions about the things you don't understand. Most of all, it's a story about the gray areas. Is it okay that so many of these places that I visited seem curated to the tourist's own experiences? That all these places, this culture that we've never been invested in, seem to be hidden from us this entire time? During this trip, my worldview was definitely broadened, but not by much. The picture was sugar-coated, except for this experience. The full picture in Jamaica and the U.S. everywhere is that great beauty and great tragedy exist side by side. I don't know what would have happened if we had kept walking that day. If I had taken his hand and gone with him to a shop that may or may not have existed. If my dad had not thought to make a phone call or if he refused in the first place. Oh, I had something so wonderful to say. You know what? Forget it. I'll just say what I meant to say. Basically, what I got from this story is that there is so much disconnect between America and other cultures. It is stories like mine that perpetuate the idea that things you don't understand are dangerous. And although what happened to me was incredibly scary, even though I didn't really process it at the time, it was never what I chose to remember about Jamaica. I remember Jamaica for the people I met, the laughs we shared on the bus, the broken AC, the way the clouds looked a little bit bigger, and for the authenticity of those that were willing to truly connect with me. And I really hope someday I can go back to Jamaica and experience it for more of what it truly is, and not the tinted glasses I never wanted in the first place. Thank you.
Thank you, Tara. That was great. There's some really good lessons to be learned there. So, can we give all the tellers another big round of applause? I just have to say, I'm so sad that all the rest of the student body that couldn't make it missed this. So, you know, I hope they get a chance. I filmed it. Hopefully they'll get a chance to catch these tellers because they're all amazing. They're all winners, and I don't envy the judges. So they're going to figure it out, and you'll hear about it. I don't know how they're going to announce it at the school, but there'll be an announcement, and then you're welcome to come back and catch whoever wins at Sherwood. And please, if you get a chance to come catch any of the other events, grab a rat card or something out there. It tells you where everything is. Rick's going to be telling the stories, and we have a woman from England, Geraldine Buckley, and Anita Otto, who's a Nigerian. She's from Nigeria and Ghana, and she does dancing, singing. She's amazing. So we have a great lineup of tellers this year, and I hope you get a chance to check it out. And thank you again so much for coming.